Hello. Can you please update the audio and video if it is all right? Namaste and welcome to Pramanic Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic astrology. In this video, we are going to learn about the Rahu and the relationships. If you have any question around this, please share them. Can can someone confirm the audio and the video if it's clear and loud? If I'm using the right microphone. Hmm, clear, great. Yes, we will definitely consider all the questions. So, first thing I'm going to tell you about is Rahu is a planet of obsession. Okay, by the way, those who are watching this live, welcome to this live stream, and those who are watching it as a replay. First, I'll be presenting about Rahu in the um, Rahu, how we use it in compatibility, and then I'll go through the questions which I'm getting live here. Okay, so if you're watching it as a replay, just you can directly go to the question and answers, or you can watch the presentation as well. Now, those who are live here, please shoot your questions into the comment box. I'll be reading them and will be replying all of them here. Okay, now before that, what is Rahu? Rahu is the planet of obsession. Rahu is all about obsession, magnetism, attraction. And it is also an abundant energy. It is also a sexual energy because Rahu is like a serpent, and serpent is represented by hypnotic sexual energy. It is deceptive, venomous as well at times, but more so, the it is all about the sexual energy. Okay, Rahu is sexual energy. So whenever we are looking for compatibility in a chart, first thing which I personally do is look for the Rahu and see where that Rahu is placed into someone else's chart. Okay, there are few strong connections which I obviously look for, and that creates a strong bond between that person. What are those connections? Okay, so first thing is when a Rahu of a one person, let's say Rahu of a man or a woman, is in, let's say, Aquarius. So when the other person have Aquarius ascendant, Aquarius moon, Aquarius, have Atmakarka in Aquarius, or moon or ascendant, then these people have a strong obsession about this person. Like whenever a person have a Rahu in Aquarius, will have an obsession about Aquarius ascendant people, or people with Aquarius moon, or people with uh, Aquarius as Aquarius sun as well. So first thing to look for is the placement of Rahu in the chart, and look for these three elements. Another strong point of attraction or obsession for Rahu is, let's say Rahu is placed into the sign of Leo, and if someone has Venus in Leo, then they will have a strong attraction towards each other. They will have the most sexual relationship. They will have a romantic relationship. those people will be obsessed about each other. Okay. So we talked about the ascendant, we talked about the Venus. Another strong connection for Rahu is the Rahu in connection with the moon of that person. When Rahu is connected with the moon of that person, there will be obsession about that person. These people will be constantly thinking about the other person. And this is not only true for Aquarius. I'm just using it Aquarius as an example. What you have to do is first look for Rahu's sign in, let's say, boys chart or a girl's chart, and look for the houses, look for the planets placed in those houses. That will give you a clue about how this relationship is going to get ahead. Okay. Now, another thing about this is Rahu can conjunct with the Jupiter. So when Rahu is conjunct with the Jupiter, when I say conjunct, it's like when we superimpose them. Okay. In our example, mm, let's say we have Rahu in Leo, and the other person has Jupiter in Leo. Then, when we superimpose this, Rahu goes over that Jupiter. And this also creates a great deep bond between these two people. Okay. So Rahu is the planet which creates the bond. And this is the planet which is also about the love and romance. And the the nature of the Rahu is unusual thing. So Rahu is always ahead of time. So I always say that, whenever a relationship is there and Rahu is placed in there, you will always see that Rahu is way ahead of its time when it comes to uh, the house placement of that planet. Okay. So let's say we're talking about relationships. So when this will be, let's say 100 years ago, this person was in live-in relationship when nobody was having live-in relationship. In a Orthodox culture, he was having a live-in relationship, kind of. So this is like thinking ahead of time. Wherever you have Rahu placed in, you think ahead of time in that area of your life. Let's say you have Rahu placed into the fourth house, fifth house. So you would be way ahead of time with respect to your creativity. Okay. So, yes, whenever you want to understand the compatibility, the most important planet to look for is Rahu. Always see Rahu first and just look for the right connection between these two people. Okay. Now, if you have any question, we'll look into the examples as well. If you have any questions, please share them. Rahu in Anuradha in fifth house, what does it entail? Okay, we are talking about the compatibility. So when Rahu is in the fifth house, what it does is Rahu in the fifth house is obsession about the kids, obsession about the love and romance. I've seen like people with Rahu in the fifth house will be obsessed about kids. Like I think Angelina Jolie has Rahu in the fifth house. She has adapted so many kids. Okay, it's a kind of obsession about it. So when Rahu is in Anuradha, Anuradha is a friendly nakshatra. Anuradha is, connected with the Mitra. Along with Varuna, it is also connected with the Mitra. Mitra is like a friend. Is about friendship. And this is a nakshatra right after the Vishakha, which is Radharani. Okay, so Anu is after, Radha is Vishakha. So whenever you have Rahu placed in Anuradha Nakshatra, you will be obsessed about the friendships. You will have a deep bond with your friends. And when it comes into the fifth house, it shows that you will have an mm, romantic relationship. You will be obsessed about having a romantic relationship. Okay. Hello, are you able to hear me properly now? Now you can hear me? LT, can you confirm? Yes, yes. Thanks for confirming. It really helps. Otherwise, okay. So we're talking about your sound fine. Yes, thanks. So yes. Thank you, ZV, Srinivas, LT, True, Rishikesh. Yes, thank you. So we're talking about the Rahu in the fifth house and the obsession about it. Rahu, the planet of Rahu in the fifth house. Fifth house is the house of your heart, and it is also the house of romance. The planet of obsession comes into the house of romance. So it makes you obsessed about love and romance, obsessed about kids. Okay. And fifth house and Anuradha Nakshatra is all about the friendships. I'm repeating it because sound was not clear. So just be with me. Okay. So Anuradha literally is about the friendships because it is connected with the Mitra. Okay. Now, what is the next question we have? Sir, Mars Atmakarka in Leo combust aspects. No, it is not related to this topic now. I am a moon Aquarius Shatabisha Padati Virgo ascendant with Rahu in the second house from ascendant. Yes, what about that? What does it entail? Rahu in first house in Rohini. Yeah, Rahu in the first house. When it comes to compatibility, so you have to look for a person. Whenever a person have a moon in Rohini Nakshatra, ascendant in Rohini Nakshatra, Atmakaraka in Rohini Nakshatra, Darakaraka in Rohini Nakshatra, or let's say Venus in Rohini Nakshatra, you will have a great connection with them. Or you just go and get the chart of your best friend or the person whom you really admire or like or feel obsessed with or in love with. Just go and check the chart, and you will see they will have some important planets in Rohini Nakshatra. Okay. So what happens when it comes into the first house? It's a different story altogether. But today we are going to talk about the compatibility part of it. So it's more about Rohini Nakshatra. But when it comes into the first house, again, first house is the house of yourself, is the house of how you look at life. And Rahu is energetic and optimistic planet. Though it is an Asura, it is a planet which looks beyond. And this is the planet of future and brings change. It's important. So, what are the results when planet in particular nakshatra is aspected by the Lord of that nakshatra? It's always, Lord of the nakshatra is a concept related to dasha only. Okay, so if you are following that, I would recommend you to be focusing more on the deity of the nakshatra. And if it is aspected by its Lord, it's always good. There's a rule, there's a sutra. If a rashi is aspected by its own Lord, it gets the protection. For example, let's say you have Saturn in the sign of Cancer. So this Saturn is aspecting the Capricorn, which is its own sign. So whatever is placed into that sign of Capricorn, this Saturn will protect it. And it applies to all the planets. Okay, so when a planet is aspected by its nakshatra lord, it's definitely a positive thing. You would expect that it is working in its own element in a way. Okay, but don't consider the a lot of the planet nakshatras are more about the deities. Hello and blessings to you. Thank you. I need all your blessings. Thanks a lot. It means a lot to me when you send me blessings or send me the or you pray for me. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Rahu in the ninth house with Saturn in Taurus. Any suggestions, please, regarding what? getting what suggestions? Chirag Mehtaji, what about Rahu in Revati in 12th house spices? It's too much of a 12th house energy, so it might make you aloof. You know, you would be obsessed about yourself. You would be obsessed into, you will be involved into spirituality. You will be intensely involved with some spiritual practices. You will be doing something of your own. You know, might be chanting, might be doing yoga, might be having some practices of your own, but it's all about getting involved into the 12th house things. Needy 381, yes, from Australia. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the confirmation. Yeah. If you have any question, please shoot it into the comment section. Pranali Bansodeji. Rahu conjunct Moon in synastry. Can it relate delusion in one of the partners towards other? Yeah, it's a good, valid point. You know, Rahu is also about the illusions. So you might get attracted to a partner, but you don't know them morally. Like you're attracted to them just because of certain things. Maybe they are good looking, maybe they are very good in nature, maybe there's something about them which you like, and you got attracted to it. So that's the problem with the Rahu. Rahu is, yeah, Rahu doesn't think. Rahu just jump into that situation. That's Rahu is conjunct with Venus, then it becomes even more intense, because Rahu Venus makes you attractive, and it also makes you fall in love. Okay, because you're attractive, you'll be you'll be pursued by the people. Okay, we call it, it's like you get into a situation where you get the love. Okay, because Rahu Venus conjunction also gives you magnetic personality, charming personality, attractive personality. Okay. Whenever you have Rahu close to your Venus, as close to your Venus, it gives you an attractive personality. Or if it is close to your Venus, close to your ascendant, it gives you an amazing attractive personality. Okay, so yes, this is also valid, that it can create a confusion or illusion, not towards the person, but maybe towards the relationship in general, the way they look at that person. And that's the puzzle. Do the Rahu transits have the same effect? You mean Rahu going over all these planets? Okay, so when a Rahu is going over your Rahu, it's a big thing. It's like a Rahu return, and that can really change the course of your life. But with these other thing, they can trigger certain things when it is going through the dasha, not dasha, the transit. But when you have it in your own chart, it's far more powerful. What if conjunction and nakshatra parivartan happen when Mars in Swati, Rahu in Chitra, Libra in the second? It's amazing. It's so powerful, you know, because Swati is a nakshatra which is about power, individual power. Okay, keep that in mind. It's an individual power. My Rahu is in 11th house with Moon in Gemini ascendant. Thanks for sharing. What about this? What about Rahu in Revati in the 12th house? Yes, we discussed that. My Rahu is in 4th house Capricorn with Moon in Shravana. I have a strange connection with someone who has almost all opposite placements. Yeah, this is karmic. You also have to see the placements of Ketu as well, right? You might have a placement of Rahu in conjunction with its Rahu, or Ketu conjunct with the Ketu. This is the most karmic connection. And in the relationship, it means it becomes even more intense. So yeah, but yeah, it's a very good observation. Sun, Moon, Rahu, Mercury conjunction in Scorpio. Yeah, that we discussed this. Does this represents the moksha traits? No, moksha is a very big thing. Okay, like it's huge. Even for that, you also need to see sun. Sun has to be favorable. You won't believe that, but sun is important to get moksha. Sun, Ketu, Moon. These are the important planets to have moksha along with the 12th lord. Please give some insights about seventh house Rahu in terms of woman attraction. Okay, so when Rahu is in the seventh house, seventh house, if it is close to again Venus, it will make you attractive, and it also makes you obsessed about and want to explore the seventh house things, which is about relationships. So you would explore your relationships. And when it comes to attraction from the opposite sex, it's not about the seventh house, it's about the first house. The moment you work on the first house, you improve your seventh house. For example, if I make my body attractive as a man, if I build my muscles, if I'm strong, if I'm having athletic attractive body, you know the opposite sex women find me attractive. They want to mate with me, they want to be with me. They think he is the guy who can they want to be with. The moment I work on the first house, my seventh house improved. The moment I work on the seventh house of relationship, I feel better. I get the recognition, I get things. So my first house improved. So always, and that's the beauty with the Rahu and Ketu. It makes you work for the opposite houses. Okay, so when Rahu is in the seventh house, it establishes you in the society. But when it comes to relationship, you are obsessed about the relationships. And let's say it has Venus conjunct with it even more. Okay, let's say Venus or Moon is conjunct with it. This obsession goes to the next level. Freaking awesome. Hello, good to see everyone. Yes, welcome, freaking awesome. You're welcome here. Avi, Rahu Moon in 11th house, how will affect my career? I don't know. Okay, because career is a complicated thing, and most of the times astrologers fail at career, predicting career, because there are many careers which we don't know. First of all, there are many new age careers which we don't know, so we are bound to fail. But you can ask the right question to ask an astrologer is not what should I do, but give him an option. Like, should I go for should I go for working in this field versus working in this field, or should I do business, or should I go for 9 to 5 job, things like that. So then you would get better answer rather than just asking him what should I do. It's really complicated and multidimensional. So we as an astrologer have limitations to predict that. Okay, we have a limited, at least I don't have that much knowledge about astrology. Okay, so we are bound to fail at these questions, and we are bound to have a limitation on this part. There are few snapshot techniques, but again, snapshot techniques have their own limitations. Okay, so if my first house has Venus Ketu, but still socially isolated and somewhat cannot exhibit Venus in attraction traits. Yeah, right. Because Ketu in the first house, Ketu is about disconnection, and first house is about yourself. So that's why it's the house of the planet of uh, the Ketu is a planet of spirituality. Okay, So yeah, makes sense. Sir, my Rahu in Scorpio and Mars in Leo, is it good in Virgo ascendant? Rahu in Scorpio is like third house, and Mars in Leo is like 12th house. Okay, so what about it? I use someone else's seventh lord as their ascendant, and the chart looks like mine. I get you. I get you. I have Moon conjunction in the fourth house, Moon in Vishakha, Kshatra, Jupiter, Nakshatra, Swati. I understand Jupiter signifies husband in astrology. What can be the nature of the husband? I have Moon, Jupiter. You have to apply and see how this is placed in. Okay, let's say whenever you are judging a partner, just look for the seventh house, whether it is a benefic or malefic, whether it is a good for your birth chart or your ascendant, or is not good for your ascendant, whether it is exalted, debilitated, conjunct with which planet. All these things will give you an idea about the kind of partner you will attract. Okay, and yes, Jupiter represents your husband. So Moon is a extremely good friend of Jupiter. So it is a very good combination to have Jupiter and Moon together. Love work. How will Rahu in the first house impact Pisces Lagna with Venus and Mars in the same house? Amazing. This would be, this person would be all about relationship. This person will always want to be in a relationship and will always look for partner, will always look for partnership and appreciation from the other people. Sir, my seventh house Lord Jupiter in Ardra Nakshatra, in the first house Gemini, Venus in the 10th house Pisces. Will it be love or arranged marriage? I don't know. For that, you need to look for the seventh. I already made a video on late marriage. You should go and check that video as well. Is it true that third Rahu is felt most? I'm 38 and Rahu will transit my first house third time. No, it doesn't work like that. Every time Rahu comes in certain houses, it gives you a new direction to your life. Okay, so yes, this was Rahu compatibility. If you have any question around this, please go and ask me your question in a comment box. I'll read them and reply to them. Okay, so yes, sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibration. See you in the next videos. Love and peace. Namaste.